There we go.
There you go.
Is that good? Yeah.
Also, you guys can feel free to move the mic stands and the mics around, and these also disengage from the mic stands.
So I actually signed up to be second because I didn't want to be first. But since nobody signed up to be first, I am now first. So my name is Ames, and what I would love to say right now is welcome to my Netflix comedy special. Maybe someday. But I can tell you in all honesty that I love what I do now. For the last 3.5 years, I've been entertaining seniors at senior centers. I'm a volunteer, thank you. And there's, when people say, you should get paid. There's nothing more gratifying than volunteering your time to do something that you love. And this is what I love. So when I entertain seniors and they come up afterwards and thank me and they laugh and have a great time, that's all I need. That's really all I need. So, my wife and I have been married 51 years. You can clap again. That's right. We graduated high school in '70, UMass Amherst in '74. 3 kids and 6 grandkids later, here we are. We recently moved to Norton from Foxborough. And this poor woman that married me has to put up with everything that I say, every single thought that crosses my mind that I might observe something. It could be a TV commercial, it could be a road sign, it could be like anything, and I have no filter at home. I just blurt these things out. And this poor woman has to listen to all of my stuff. So I certainly get my share of eye rolling at home. She's not here tonight because she's sick of my jokes. And I'm going to share with you some of the things that she has said, not trying to be funny, but are just very unusual or weird and bizarre. The things that I say that are unusual is because I'm trying to be funny. So let me start with this. So I did have prostate cancer surgery about 5-6 weeks ago. I'm doing fine, thanks. And getting ready to go to the hospital that morning, and I just had a little pair of sweatpants on, like that. What does she say to me before we leave? Are you wearing that to the hospital? We're not going to the prom, you know what I mean? We're not going to the prom. And something else that was totally bizarre, we were at Shaw's in the supermarket, and our son, we assigned him the ringtone of crickets chirping. So when we hear crickets chirping, we know that Kenny is calling our phone. So we're in one of the aisles, and we hear the ringtone of crickets chirping. So I look at my phone, and it wasn't coming from my phone. It was coming from a guy just a little bit further down the aisle. And my wife actually says, "Why is Kenny calling that guy?" You need to ask him how he knows our son. So, just an example of some of the things that she has said. But she has to put up with me, with everything I say, and here's some of the highlights of things that I say that she has to put up with. We're in the kitchen the other day, and she asked me, "Alan, are you going to do the dishwashing?" I said, "Yes, but don't tell the refrigerator." My doctor told me that I had a fatty liver. I told him he had a big nose. This is all the kind of stuff that goes on in our house. Furthermore, as far as just things that I see, like that stupid commercial about Dixie plates. Have you seen it? They put like all this food, right? Like the first one is the woman and she bends over and her daughter has a diorama of something and she's got all this food in it. Like who does that? Right? But the one that makes me scream at the TV is the second one, the guy that's at his computer. Have you ever looked to see how much food is actually on his plate? He has so much, and it looks, if you pause it and you look at all the food that's on his plate, it's like he got something from every restaurant in a food court. There's everything on the plate. So of course, when he holds it out, it falls. And I scream at the TV, and my wife has to put up with it. I go, and don't take so much food. What are you doing? You know, because it's a Dixie, commercial. And the worst thing, I don't know if you've noticed his pants. His pants are like all the colors of a rainbow. Like, that's just, have you seen this commercial? You know? And it drives me crazy. But even like road signs. There's one, if you come up from New York and you're in Connecticut, and 30, 40 miles up, there's actually a sign on the road on the side of the highway that says, correctional facility, no stopping. Is this a problem? Are people driving 65 miles an hour up Interstate 95, pulling over to pick up hitchhikers wearing orange uniforms? I mean, this has happened so much that they had to put the sign, and I scream every time I do this, and my wife has to put up with me. And I say, all the time, I say, instead of spending money on the sign, just fix the hole in the fence, you know? Oh. Two guys, lifelong buddies, and it's all about baseball. They played baseball growing up. They go to spring training. They have season's tickets, Red Sox all the way. So one day, one of them passes on. About a week later, at night, the remaining guy sees a vision. It's his friend. He goes, Mike, is that you? Yeah, it's me. You're in heaven, right? He goes, yeah, of course I'm in heaven. Well, tell me this, is there baseball in heaven? And he goes, well, there's good news and bad news. Okay, well, what's the good news? Well, the good news is there is baseball in heaven. He goes, oh, great. Well, what's the bad news? You're pitching tomorrow. We have two sons, and they're very competitive. One day they were arguing about how much money they make. Oh, I make this, my salary is this, my bonus is this, my potential is that. And I had to break it up. I said, hey, I make six figures too. They go, Dad, you do? You make six figures? I said, yes, but unfortunately, two of them are after the rest won't mind. And then they're arguing about how smart they are. They graduated, the cum laude, summa cum laude, magna cum laude, and all that kind of stuff. So I had to break that up. I got involved in that as well. I go, I graduated with honors also. They go, you did? Where did you graduate with? I said, I graduated, someone couldn't get me. There's just, so much that that goes on in our house. I had that prostate cancer surgery, and I had a catheter for a week. Now, I was talking to a friend of mine, Lee, and he said, yeah, I had a catheter in me for like 2 weeks, and it was a real pain in the butt. I said, Lee, they put it in the wrong hole. Two sisters. One's 6, one's 4. They're in the bathroom looking at the scale that's on the ground. The older one says to the younger one, don't ever step on that. Every time Mommy steps on that, it makes her cry. we needed numbers for our mailbox recently. Our address is the number 10. So we went to the hardware store, and we're in the area where they have the numbers, and I had to call the manager over. The manager said, what's wrong? I said, well, I need the number 10, but the highest number you have here is 9. So I took the 9 anyway. It's close enough sometimes. Sometimes my neighbor gets their pizza and, sometimes they don't. Hearing has become a problem for me. I know I'm going to need a hearing aid one day. And this is an example of what happened recently. We were watching the news one night, watching the news, playing with our phones, and I could have sworn the newscaster said something about a woman being shot in her anus. In her anus. And I'm thinking to myself, how is that even possible that a woman gets shot in her anus? Is she like tying her shoe? What? So I said to my wife, did you hear that? How on earth does a woman get shot in her anus? And my wife very lovingly said to me, well, you're an idiot. She got shot in her anus. I always finish my show with a piece of advice for my seniors, and it goes like this. I hope this comes in handy to you someday. Never go through a car wash when you have to pee. It never works out at all. Thank you very much.
Okay, next we have Nick doing poetry.
Very good.
Thanks.
There you go.
I'd like to shout out our previous gentleman, and I wonder what his booking fee is.